His Excellency George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country and people are now seeing it as being right because the SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism for those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Although I committed myself to doing an audit, this is the reason why when the first time I saw this outturn was when the budget was submitted to us. It is not true that any member as was exerted last Sunday came to me to discuss this outturn. And I will show you the hypocrisy in a minute. When I saw this, I called my staff. They gave me the evidence of this money movement. And I will produce screenshots and documents to that effect at my trial of how money was moved. So I said, no, I don't want to implicate anyone. But what I will do, we must do the audit. So now they have even extended it to 2022. So we'll be asking the GAC instead of just 2023 audit to 2022 and 2023 to see what happened here. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not just going to throw charges. So I just want the public that this GAC audit will happen as I mandated. I wanted to see it at the end of 2025. At the end of October. That's what precipitated the fast hurry of spreading this resolution around to prevent it.
Provisional student, yo, 0.5%, yo. Provisional student, yo, 0.5%, yo. Provisional student, yo. 0.5%, yo.
These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him pamper. Every day I gotta buy a pamper. There's a man who bought me pamper before. I'm buying pamper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he said, he said, when you run for one term, he said it. I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else. These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him pamper. Every day I gotta buy a pamper. There's a man who bought me pamper before. I'm buying pamper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he said he said, when you run for one term, he said it. I agree with him. 2023, no.
The process has been televised. Even people that committed themselves to us refuse to nominate us. We will stand up tall because we know people like us, the legislators, will not want to see us in leadership because there are things we stand for and we will never back down. I'm not deterred. I'm still going to be a voice in the House. If even the marginalized me by refusing to nominate me.
I think it is a dangerous irony that a man who was born in Sierra Leone, Mr. Joseph Boakai, born in Sierra Leone, having gotten elected by a narrow victory, he will not focus his energy on reconciling the country, uniting the country, and he will take a frivolous lawsuit, not just to honor court Councillor Kofa, but to honor man Liberia hard-earned democracy. I think it's dangerous. I think it will basically say something about Boakai as somebody who is a divisive character. Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or certain condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
So thank you, man, that you joined us. We've got the issues to talk about this afternoon. At the same time, one of the leading voices in civil society movement is in at 4 o'clock, from 4 to 5. They are pressing for a better Liberia. They've been around for a very long time now. Was a strong voice in the aliens government, we are government, and in this government now. They've designated their head, Kesali Baza, to be in at 4. Until then, it's 4,000 Liberian dollars we are giving this afternoon. You want to take your Monday 4,000. Start playing the King's Cash giveaway, dial star 79 and star 24 hash, play with 200, that's $1.50 or 70 cents US, and then you can have your 10, did I say 10? No, 4K, sorry. You know, we used to this 10. So it's 4. Let's have a wonderful time together. I'm Sam Andrews. Vinicius Bar, you are on. Nina Quia, Hawa Molba, Willem Carr, Henry D. Hill, my dear Southeastern sister Dwighty, you are on also. Good to have you on. Hope that you are faring well from your end. Masare, your last name, but yeah, Masare Gasumo Ibrahim, AB, you are on. Yasa Sharif, good to have you on. Hope that you are faring well. Yeah, thank you too for the compliments. Clarence Due, you are on. Philip Kura from Dubai. Evan Davis from Canada. Diane Dennis, you've on from Manhattan, the United States of America. Yes, thank you ever so much. We appreciate the compliments. Yeah, FCB, do your magic and play me. Diana, you are a Barcelona fan? Please let me know. Give me a notification if you are a fan of the world's greatest team, the world's classic team, the world's clinical team, FC Barcelona. That's good. Yeah. There's Diamond Gonoflomo. You are on from Morovia. Simeon Tikla. You are also on from, you didn't say, but you say great weekend. It was FC Barcelona. Yeah. Francis M. Sharif, you are on also from St. Paul Bridge. Solo Wat Corsia, you are on from your comfort zone, New Jersey. Christian Dennis from Red Light. Yes, Red Light. A Valley Cora, you are on from Banjul, the Gambia. Philip Nangbe from Texas, the state of Texas, you said. Musa A. Sharif, you are on from Sophie Community, Congo Town. Peter One Day, you are on from Crown Hill. Asata Miller from Red Light. David Williams from Colorado, the USA. Lawrence Harris Jr., Boyman Koji Vani, Emmanuel Bro. Amen. Good afternoon, Sam Andrews. My fellow viewers, on this day, April 28th, as always, I am watching today's edition of the show on Kings 88.5 LIB from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the United States of America. That's good, William Broad. Good to have you on. Jude One Way from Johnsonville, Auto Freeport, Fumba V. Tule, Lawrence Harris, and Navarros M. And I just can. The names are very, very, very many. Very, very. Roland Cooper, Darlington Bidell, Ibrahim Deba. Say FC Barcelona for life. That's good. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you all. Oh, my dear brother Pastor Melvin Destiny Harvest Power from the United States. Good to have you on. Thank you so much. Good to see all of you. Hope that you people are faring well. Yes, great people. Great people. I appreciate all of you. All of you. So, time is of the essence. But before then, let's have this reminder. We can get the goods of your goods off the shelf. We can publicize. We can sell your business. All you need to do is bring it at Kings 88.5. Let's have this one off the shelf.
Yes!
Pee-wee?
Yes?
What are the happiness for now?
Yama?
Mhm.
The thing that making some of our friends in other countries can be building houses and sending their children to Google schools. Now come to Liberia, yeah?
What's that?
They got one Liberian company called Liberty Fortune.
Liberty Fortune?
Yes, this company bringing one game they call Liberty Fortune Scratch and Win game.
And how people can play this game?
Very easy. Buy their ticket and scratch the silver part on it. Just the same way you can do the scratch card. Then any money you see on it is for you. You can win different amount of money, all the way up to 10,000 USD.
So you mean when I buy the Liberty Fortune scratch card and build the silver part, any money there is for me?
Yes, and you only need just $1 USD on the same money LD to play and win.
But where I can get a Liberty scratch card from now?
Go to the shops. Go to the boys who selling scratch cards and tell them that you want Liberty scratch card. Pay, scratch, and win. And then you take the winning card to their office at the Don's residence on 2nd Street, Topman Boulevard in Cinco for your money.
Pee-wee, thank you for this life-changing game. Liberty scratch card, we for it every day.
Spend small money and win big money. A message from Liberty Fortune LLC, the new game changer in Liberia.
And save my people, the management of the Man Water Medical and Eye Clinic, located at the Police Academy Junction in Painesville, is excited to bring you free healthcare services. Here are what we have in store for you.
Free blood pressure checks on the 2nd Saturday of every month. Free blood sugar test on the 3rd Saturday of every month. Please do not eat after 12 a.m. or midnight prior to your visit for the blood sugar test.
To ensure everyone is attended to effectively and efficiently, we will serve up to 50 persons for each of these services on a first-come, first-served basis, beginning at 8 in the morning.
On the 2nd and 3rd Saturdays of every month.
Your health is your wealth. Don't let silent killers like high blood pressure and high blood sugar take you by surprise. Early detection saves lives. So take charge of your health today for a stronger and healthier tomorrow.
Exclusive offer for your children under 5 years. Parents, this one is for you and the well-being of your precious jewel. The Manwata Medical and Eye Clinic offers free routine laboratory tests for children under the age of 5. Give your little ones the care they deserve with absolutely no cost to you. Regular health check can detect issues early and keep your children thriving, because a healthy child is a happy child.
In addition to this, we offer medical, laboratory, and eye care services at the Manwata Medical and Eye Clinic 24 hours around the clock at affordable prices.
For more information on these services and more, kindly visit the Manwata Medical and Eye Clinic at the Police Academy Junction in Painesville, or call the following cell numbers: 0775 988 356, 0888 024 099, or 0776 930 576.
Your health is our priority. Together, we can build a healthier Liberia.
Yes, we can together build a healthier Liberia. And it all starts with Kings 88.5 getting your goods of the show, getting so make people know what kind of institution you are and why that product or products are necessary or good for consumption. Yes. So you want to pass at our institution or the radio station, bring your product and we will do the servicing for you, and you will not experience the difficulties you are experiencing, because it can happen. You can get the maximize profit when customers aren't going in. You need customers to go in, and the customers are just all over the place in a state of confusion. They just don't know where to go, but they have the preference. So they are directed when, or they get to know that place when the products advertise, listening to the radio and say, okay, we can go to this place. It's at XYZ. Let's get started. Time is of the essence at 4 o'clock. Kesali Baza is in from the Citizens United for Better Liberia. We find ourselves in a terrible time, a confused time, a time that nothing is certain. You can trust nobody. You can believe nobody. You can take the word of anybody as reliable, because money is deciding everything now. Loyalty is no more. Integrity has been sold out. And just what the executive wants in this country, it happens. You can tell now that we have a culture of a dictator, a tyrant, a despot. And everybody who will see themselves, when I say everybody, I mean those guys at the legislature, they will see themselves as the ones the people can rely on. Interestingly, they are the most vulnerable, most gullible, most subservient. So over the week, last week, the Supreme Court gave its clarity into the Speaker of the House of Representatives, J. Fonatikofa Bill of Information, announcing that everything the majority bloc is illegal, unconstitutional, undemocratic. No sooner had the Supreme Court handed down that opinion The Minister of Information said the government, the executive branch of government, welcomed the decision, and it was now time to move forward with national healing, reconciliation, and unity. Couple of hours after, his boss, President Joseph Yuma Boaka, came with a counter against what his information minister said, that they will recognize, though he acknowledged the Supreme Court ruling. However, it does not have any binding effect. He will continue to deal with the majority bloc, giving added impetus to the majority bloc that they are the constitutional body to determine anything legislatively. That caught the attention of scores of lawyers in this country, giving their opinion, a mixture of opinion. One school of thought will argue that there is nothing wrong. It is a separate branch of government, so President Boaka was right in his public address. Another school of thought will argue that the Supreme Court was right. It is the law, it is the Constitution, and they will cite several provisions of the very Constitution. Fast forward, the executive continued to prevail. The man who claims to be the speaker did something that has never happened in this country before. Never happened in this country. He took his men, sealed up the chambers, the main chambers, with iron gate, that the majority or the minority bloc or anybody from the speaker side should not go. The intimidation strategy is still on and it is working. So they install iron door. Richard Cohen, he installed iron gate at the chambers. He is insisting that he is the legitimate speaker of the House of Representatives, though he said the Supreme Court ruling wasn't good at all. The Supreme Court erred. They condemned the Supreme Court. All of the members of Unity Party, their officials, they will insult the Chief Justice. They will condemn, criticize, they will reject. Ironically, they go back to the same Supreme Court that they said was a separate branch, had nothing to do with what is happening at the legislative branch. They go back to the Supreme Court to seek interpretation. They won a re-argument. In there, they said that they pointed out financial malfeasance. Yes, that's what they pointed out. They accused the Supreme Court of financial malfeasance. So just so you know what it is, there are two words here: malfeasance and financial malfeasance. Put the two together, it gave you the phrase financial malfeasance. Malfeasance is simply an act that is illegal and causes physical or monetary harm to someone else. Financial malfeasance is simply the act of dishonest and illegal behavior, especially by someone in the position of authority, that causes financial harm. So you can figure out or try to get the understanding why they inserted the expression or phrase financial malfeasance. It is all the budget, or the Chief Justice and her people will receive their pay. In essence, you say we are illegal. Everything about us is illegal. But the budget signed by Richard Kuhn, who is our speaker, you receive your money from it, you receive your pay from it, and you don't know. LIB. Funny country. Joke of a country. Me, I can't lie to anybody. I have the opportunity of this place. And if you have the opportunity, well, you better try to find something better. Because if you think that anything going to happen yet. You're just seeing the signs. If you're waiting for God to send Daniel down to explain the signs on the world, well, you are doomed. When you reach a point where the president of a country will look at the Supreme Court and say the Supreme Court is useless, he can take nothing from the Supreme Court. You don't need anything extra to know that it is purely, you have, the person is telling you, I am the boss. I decide what is what. You either take it from me or, and listen, the people say that could lead to chaos. We don't want any chaos. It will lead to nothing. They will do, if Boakai wants to do anything in this country, whichever way he wants to do, everybody will look at him. He will enjoy himself and his people. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 say there is season to every, there is a season and there is a purpose to everything under the earth. There is a time that you will exercise your authority, you will enjoy, you and your people will enjoy, you will wield so much power and authority. There will be a time that it will come to an end, according to Ecclesiastes. The next person that will take over will look in your face and remind you of everything that you did and will be ready to retaliate. Because the precedence was set. So they ran to the Supreme Court. The very Supreme Court they condemned. You sense the irony? The very Supreme Court they condemned. They ran to the Supreme Court for re-argument. So had the Supreme Court ruled in their favor, they wouldn't have gone there. Say the Supreme Court did not only err in stripping them of their legislative authority, but that the court went further to benefit from the very budget they declare as illegal. So what is happening, people? The dollar politics is working. The dollar politics is working. They were fooled by the president. He said he will work with the quorum. He said, your honors, what did he say? He said, fellow Liberians, our Constitution and the Supreme Court have defined what constitutes a quorum for the conduct of business in the legislature. We intend to vigorously uphold this vital principle of our constitutional democracy. We will continue to work with the quorum that will ensure the full functioning of our government. So the guy now, they say, okay, good. We already have considerable number and we need additional number. So they have dollarized the atmosphere to get up to 50. Then as far as they're concerned by their interpretation, they are the legitimate body. Not realizing it has shifted from number to undesirable act. It is no longer about the number. A couple of months ago, it was about the number. It is not about the number again. It is not about majority, 49, 50, 60, 100. They're not getting the logic. But they are aware, but they don't want to because they know they can. So what they are doing is they are ditching out money around, convincing some of their colleagues to come on their side. So they think when they have 49, then they are legitimate. When you have 49, it means it is the beginning of setting the stage for due process. Having 49, it doesn't say when you have 49, then automatically the person is not a speaker. Kofa is not a speaker. The law said 49 to begin a due process, at which time the speaker will recuse himself, meaning you have obtained the number to set the stage. So it's not because you have 49, then everything is over. That's how some of them are interpreting it. You see how some of these guys, the mistake that you made, you seeing it. Most of these guys over there, they are just vulnerable, man. Literally, they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable. You can see that they are craving for the dialogues. What they don't want is to go into anything new election. They don't want to go back to the status quo because President Boakai and his people know that going back to the status quo, Richard Kuhn will not be the speaker. He knows that the politics will change. There will be a shift in the legislative atmosphere. So they are hanging on to that irrational politics. We have the number 49, even up to 50, the man no longer speaker. Today they met, they issue a statement, they say they declare vote of no confidence in Fonati Kofa. How is that? What's the sense in it? How can you declare a vote of no confidence in a person when the person has not been removed? Even if you declare vote of no confidence, it doesn't say the person is out. Vote of no confidence simply means that you have lost trust, but you will have to give the person a due process. So they met today, called leadership meeting, and they said they declare a vote of no confidence. They are persuading their colleagues from the other side or from the speaker block to come to them. We have 5 persons. 5 persons are expected to form part of them. In their meeting, I saw Emmanuel Down. Emmanuel Down crossed over. He went there, and they were excited to receive Emmanuel Down. Yeah, Emmanuel Down. So he returned. Their understanding is his presence there will increase their number. And so they are doing everything. Well, gentlemen, I can say to you guys, it's good that you guys are doing all of these. Thank God that the people are saying it, the people who elected you. Today, you're telling them that it was wrong for them to take the decision that they took, but you were not wrong. I'm speaking to you, the electorate. You people weren't wrong. But the thing that you people were wrong, as evident by how they're conducting themselves, they don't regard you in this thing. Nobody is consulting their constituency. They're doing everything at their will and pleasure, at their time. A serious country. This cannot happen in any other country. The lawmakers will consult their people. They will take it to the people. But the people don't regard you. But they will stay in chambers and say, doing the Liberian people business. You see what they're telling you? You see what they're telling you? This thing will come to an end. Fonati Kofa will leave. Fonati gave the hint. It hasn't been, our position hasn't been with Fonati Kofa or about Fonati Kofa. The way the guys proceeded, had they done what is right in accordance with the law, we'll be calling Richard Kuhn speaker. We're not calling Richard Kuhn speaker because everything about his so-called ascendancy was illegal. And even if Fonati Kofa steps down, by whatever means, Richard Kuhn can still not be referred to as speaker. Look how disgraceful it is in our country under the reign of Joseph Boakai. No reason why I will always refer to him as Nebuchadnezzar, because that's how Nebuchadnezzar reigned. You read Daniel chapter 3. Read Daniel chapter 3, Daniel chapter 4, see it. That's how Nebuchadnezzar reigned, and that's how it's going to be in the tribulation period. It was Nebuchadnezzar the one who was calling all of the shots, making all of the decisions. And if anyone didn't go according to his will, you are punished. Do you know that those guys who call themselves legislators, they are at the whims and caprice. They are being tossed to and fro. They dare do anything against Bouakar's will. In this context, Bouakar is the Nebuchadnezzar, and they are the servants falling to the feet of Nebuchadnezzar, worshiping him. That's the context. Look at it. Read Daniel chapter 3, Daniel chapter 4. See what is different to then and today. That's the same thing. And that's how it's going to be in the tribulation period. Where we are, you got two representative, one. Where has it happened in the word that you can help me? You got the speaker, Fonatikofa, going out with representative one, and you have Rachel Kuhn moving with representative one. Isn't this a shame and it's a disgrace? Wouldn't it be right for Bouakar to call a shot and say, look, this is wrong? This we did not say in our arrest agenda about the rule of law. You know how so disgusting it is to the international community? They are compiling reports. Rachel Kuhn will get there. But Rachel Kuhn will not have it on a silver platter. Bouakar will not have it on a silver platter. All of those people who today's running all over the place, acting like they know too much, they are the only educated people about governance, they will not have it as a walk in the park all through. No. There will be events we sit on the same radio and support people against them, because that place will not be a merry-making all through. Rachel Kuhn is not going to have it on an easy path. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Right now, he's having it all joyous because they want to get Fonatikofa out. Fonatikofa has never refused. Fonatikofa hinted of a possible exit when he used the word in his address right after the Supreme Court ruling transition. And then he said that he's not unmindful of the responsibility to make the ultimate sacrifice. That means we have understood everything here. I am not going to stay on further. Let us do what is right parliamentarily, and then I can exit the scene. Simple as that. Fonatikofa don't need, I've told you people over and over, Fonatikofa don't need to work in Bouakar government to exist as a person. Fonatikofa don't need Bouakar government to live. His future, his sustenance on earth is not in Bouakar and the legislature. Fonatikofa had been living a good life. He has the recognition domestically and internationally than even Bouakar and everybody in that legislature. Fonatikofa is a millionaire. I've heard over the weekend of reports of negotiation. So I thought to check with the Rule of Law Caucus when I saw this statement from the Rule of Law Caucus chairman, which I think it wasn't right at all. You know what you do in such a situation when the Supreme Court rules, giving you or reaffirming your legitimacy? Now you just wait to look and see. When you take the lead to make a proposal or send a proposal for a way out, you are telling the people that are against you that they are more better than you, they are powerful than you. You are the one who need to submit to them. I think I should share that while we await Kesali. Yeah, what the Rule of Law Caucus, they say they send a proposal to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to charter a way out. Does Bouakar look like somebody who would sit down to listen to other people? The man already said that the Supreme Court is irrelevant. The Supreme Court is of no substance, though he acknowledged, but he's not going to take anything from the Supreme Court. He will continue to use. So what kind of move that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf can broker? What kind of, you see what is happening? The first thing first, if Barker meant well, the first thing he would do, he would have withdrawn everything from Kong. But instead, he reinforced. So that thing, where is the statement from I know that politics is also being played within the rule of law caucus. We have to be very careful of ability. Hear what they say. Statement on rule of law caucus proposal regarding the House of Representatives crisis. The rule of law caucus has officially submitted a draft proposal to former President, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, for onward transmission to all parties involved in the ongoing leadership crisis within the House of Representatives. This proposal, once adopted through a binding resolution, seeks to bring an end to the reign of Speaker J. Fonati Kofa, God, and will ensure the conduct of a free, fair, and transparent election for a new Speaker of the House. It represents a significant step forward in restoring trust, upholding democratic principles, and fostering genuine reconciliation among members of the House. Beyond addressing the issue of leadership, the proposal also provides clear solutions to other outstanding matters that have plagued the House, threatening its functionality and undermining the spirit of governance. The rule of law caucus remains steadfast in its commitment to constitutional order, legislative independence, and the restoration of dignity and credibility of the People's House. In my opinion, when I saw this first, I said, no, I got weak. There is politics, deadly politics, sycophantic politics playing within the rule of law caucus. Even if it is the decision for Fonati Kofa to stand down, no rational or sound person will insert that line. You talk about what is happening at the House, what you need to do, sending a proposal to Ellen, fine. But you don't have to put this in the document. Once adopted through a binding resolution, seeks to bring an end to the reign of Speaker of J. Fonati Kofa. Now, all the majority bloc members, they got it. And you saw how they started moving today? As far as the people concerned, Fonati Kofa is out. Because Fonati Kofa own people gave other impetus to the majority bloc. When you put out a statement like this, and you put it there, you put this line there, saying a binding resolution seeks to bring an end to the reign of Speaker J. Fonati Kofa. So the people say, okay, good, let's do a statement. And that's what they did today. The statement that the majority bloc read in the conference room, because they ain't in the chambers, they still using that small conference room, very tight. Because they read this, so they say, okay, let's do a statement declaring a vote of no confidence. In essence, his own minority bloc, his own rule of law caucus people, they have no confidence in him. They want him to go, as evident by what they wrote. Oh God, LRB politics. Bility is up to something. So my people that were unfolded today, we'll talk more of that. I think my guests will zero in on most of this thing. But actually, I thought they would not have issued any statement, or even if they issue a statement, not to mention not to mention that line in the statement, not to even put it there. Bring an end to the reign of Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and will ensure the conduct of free, fair, and transparent election. Where Rachel Kun and her people Boaka will sit down and allow to have free, fair election. As far as the people concerned, Rachel Kun is the speaker. To have or to want a free, fair, or another election is to say Rachel Kun is illegal. It's for his guys to declare him illegal, and the guys see him as the legitimate speaker. So where would they come from to say, let's have election? That is why they are persuading and using the dollar politics to get people on their side. That when they have the number they need, then they can say, oh, the Constitution said 49, we have 49. For Nati Kofa, it's normal speaker, we'll finish. Musa Belete, I don't know whether they wrote this document by consensus. They agree there was a consensus. If there wasn't, and they asked Fonati, not Fonati, but Musa Belete to do a statement, and he wrote this. Let me say to you, the caucus, you're damaged Fonati further. The last minute, at the point of getting victory, you push Fonati back. That's what you people done. If I was in that meeting, I would never agree that this line be inserted. You would talk about brokering peace, finding an amicable solution, and those things that you need to do, how it has brought the house into disrepute and all those things. You leave the resignation or you leave the exit off. That is something that is discussed behind the scene. That's what they call backdoor diplomacy. When the time is right for that, it will be known. It will either be made by a designated person or the person himself will face the camera and tender in his resignation by that announcement. We got to learn from oh God. But Musa Belete is a cunning character. It's not a surprise. Why would you put that there? So the people say they wrote their statement, I think about 4 paragraphs, declaring vote of no confidence. That other junk of a thing. How can you declare vote of no confidence in a sitting speaker? Okay, to declare vote of no confidence in a sitting speaker is to give him due process. Vote of no confidence is not an automatic removal. What kind of country is this? What kind of people we have? What are the people you elected as lawmakers? I am told that the guest is in, but let me put this one in from Mema Briggs Menza. I have always respected her, but I have come to lose respect for her. I didn't know that's how she's so cunning. Yeah. But anyway, it's not a surprise because she got terribly vexed. She had wanted to be deputy speaker in the election that brought Fonati Kofa to the speakership. She supported Fonati Kofa. She did all she could. She turned to a choir director. She was singing all over the place. She turned to event planner for Fonati Kofa. She was doing all kinds of stuff. Fonati Kofa too was not on his own. He had other people around. Thomas Salah had put out his interest for a deputy speaker. And she did not come from a party. Thomas Fowler came from a party. So the politics was the party went for their own. That's what gave him the deputy speaker position. She was relying on the sympathy of other people. When the deputy speaker was announced, she got vexed. She called a news conference and blasted Fonati. She said all kinds of awful things about Fonati. She even said that the election was dollarized, that legislators were putting up their vulnerable selves to receive money. If you listen to the clips that I played before the show started, I play that voice. I'm trying to get it again. She said the process was dollarized, meaning her colleagues took money from Fonati, took money from Thomas Fowler, and they just went and did things against her. From that day, this woman had never felt comfortable with Fonati Kofa. Fast forward, when this thing started, from the onset, what did she say? She said she was now moving to the majority bloc. Neither was she going to the majority bloc. She would stay neutral. Today, the woman came to say, easy. So, yeah, so they just playing all kinds of all kinds of shenanigans. They're putting people name up and saying that they're going to them. Yeah, one of those names is Tai Wongwe. Tai Wongwe, I think he's in the Gambia. He's attending ECOWAS meeting. Now, so what Tai Wongwe wrote just a minute ago on his page. He said, silence is golden. One thing about me, I always make my position clear. Keep speculating. Let me focus on my ECOWAS duties. May 13 coming. That's when they will return. May 13 coming. That's what he said. Tai Wongwe. They said Tai Wongwe, Mema Bricks Menza, who else? Again, Romeo Kuya, and others are going to them. So here is Mema Bricks Menza. Here is Mema Bricks Menza. Yeah, what she said. Cunning lady. Yeah. Yeah, what she said. Very cunning. She you can't you have to be consistent in life. Let me get it quick. I beg you. Yeah, I want to give you a raw understanding of what she said. Cunning lady. Okay, so let me get it. Then I take few calls, and then we turn to Kesali. Let me get to her quick. Let me get to her as quickly as I can. She said, at present, I am in the Gambia attending an official ECOWAS event. Upon conclusion, I will proceed to Cape Verde to participate in the annual meeting of WAHO Financial Support Steering Committee of ECOWAS member states. Then she went further. She said, I hold the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia in the highest esteem, and I will fully abide by its decision. However, I must make it clear, I am duty bound to sign in favor of the removal. I am duty bound to sign in favor. I am duty bound to sign in favor of the removal of the court recognized speaker, Honorable Jeniton Fonati Kofa. Should he fail to produce a quorum, since it's clear that he has lost the moral authority over majority members of the House for whatsoever reasons. Now, you don't want to stoop so low. You want to be very definitive. You don't want to be wandering here and there as a lawmaker. You've already indicted Fonati Kofa. Then you come to set condition. Then you come back and say, should he? You've already said that I am duty bound, meaning it's an obligation. I've already resolved. There is the resolution. There's the resolution to have him removed. I am duty bound to sign in favor of the court recognized. You know that the court recognized or reaffirm his legitimacy, his constitutionality, but you still ready to support the renegades who want to move him or are doing everything to remove him. Then you set in condition. Oh God, tell me, How people go to school in this country? How they learn? Anyway, that's it. I often tell you that we are in the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. If you understand, if you can read the Bible, if you are a Christian, you can read the Bible, well, then you don't, I know what to tell you now, because that's how it is. Everything you see in the Bible is practical, and everything practical you see in the Bible. That's it. We are in the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. My guest is in, so let's take just a few cards. You also have your say when he does his deliberation, because on some of these things that we are talking, let's just take a few calls as quickly as possible, not to render you disservice, and then we can get to him. Let's go. Hello.
Yeah, what are you?
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yes, the boy I'm phoning in from Point 4 to be flexible in Zimbabwe. Then you are here, you are the last time you hold the show. I told you, I said, Bwanga, I thought on you will not listen. You see the kind of disgrace, Bwanga.
I'm not talking about Bwanga, man. My focus is on the guys at the legislature. Yeah.
That's why I told, but then you know, if the head of Bwanga behind the member of the legislature, Bwanga is the one who must
thank you, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chief.
Yeah, thank you. This is Martino Makayo speaking, member of the National Progressive Action Movement. Let me say thank you for, clearly explaining what happened. The issue that has to do with the statement from the rule of law caucus, I think the guys are giving up. Sort of statement, it is something that has already been agreed upon, and also has to come to the speculation that is, moving around about the resignation of the speaker.
Okay, Chief.
Yes, we'll embrace if the majority bloc will having to gather the number and go to the speaker, ask him to recuse himself.
Okay, Chief, thank you. Hello, you don't want to stay long, just hit the point. Yeah, my guest is in. Hello.
Yeah, Lawson calling for Ria. Yeah, I really want to know, they say CDC control now. Then what they call with the fancy video, and then we want to control it.
I mean, that CDC ain't got nothing to do with, I think we'll pass that CDC thing. Thank you so much, Chief. You're lead CDC. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good
afternoon.
I'm calling from Tancho, West Benu.
Let's hear you.
We're not bringing the people, bring our very share. The people are not know better. They don't know shit. They not go to school to learn better. They damage our country like this. I'm not bringing people.
What's that? You crying?
You crying?
You crying?
I'm crying. It hit my heart. It hit my heart. It hit my heart.
Okay.
No, yesterday, today, you know, my boy, my dad, and all turning to crush the majority of
but you know how liberal politics looking. The most powerful branch in our country, body politics, that the executive. Even though they call the people first branch, but they lost their essence. They stoop so low for small money. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Let's hear you quick, my man.
Yeah, this is Flomo Peter speaking to you from Queensland. My concern is grown actually on the minority that trying to impose themselves on the majority. You know, in life, when you feel that everything is the way you want it, at times you get a result. Let them go. It's not a problem. For Fanati were never born to remain speaker forever and ever. Even if I, personally, who's speaking, would have seen him one-on-one, I would just say to resign altogether in totality from the position, Chief, as well as the disgrace.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Let's hear you.
This is Gertrude J.D. Williams. I'm calling from Johnsonville. You know, majority of the people in the house call themselves lawmakers. They don't really understand. Majority of them don't go to school. So this is why they feel that having 49, it means that Fonati is totally out. But they don't know that why they don't want this is what will happen. At the end result, you have that number, there will be an election. And this is why Wakati they avoid, and we know that this is what will happen. So you go all you can down. When you get a number, it's a new starting board that will take place in the house. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for spicing up. Yeah, sorry, I could. Don't worry, but you will have the time to say what you have, because it is within the same realm that the guests will address. Yeah. So it's not the number. Don't mind. I think they're doing all the it's, when you get small boys and girls in legislature, that why you happy. Not necessarily the small by size. It's just me, the mentor. Okay. My guy is him, I guess, is in. He's the chairman, Citizens United for Better Liberia, Kesali Baza. Before we bring him on, this break on Real Talk on Kings 88.5 of Prince Managers.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Let's read some of your comments. Emmanuel Bro said, President JRB is shamelessly violating the Constitution by supporting regime Speaker Richard Cohn because he wants to sustain his inflation of the national budget for stealing purposely. Sad. Matthew Cholople writes, those so-called lawmakers are all educated fools. Prince Gay said Kofa is the Speaker of Liberia. Emmanuel Payne said they are very ignorant. They think Ellen Goring to degrade her academic standard and experience in favor of them. Tikon Dixon said, you are one of the troublemakers in the country. So what you think needs to be done? You think that violent, Tamia, what are you saying? You call it, you say, well, what are the troublemaker? Yesterday, when your unity party or protesting or in the street, you ain't think of nobody protesting. You ain't think of Boaga having a free ride. No pressure on Boaga. Your unity party people didn't raise it. I wanted the troublemaker. Yesterday, 24/7, you used to have protests all over the place. We have fought hard to handle it. Some Boaga came to power. Nobody get time for him. Nobody having protests. Nothing. Boaga should be grateful. He should be very grateful. It's not because Boaga is strong or Boaga actually keeping the peace of this country. It's simply because nobody in this country want anything at all. We keeping the peace. We keeping everything stable. Not Boaga. Boaga can't stop nobody from getting in the street. The same thing he said yesterday when we said people should not protest, when Ellen said they should not protest, they said it was the constitutional right. They said they were not seeking permission from no Ministry of Justice, and they got in the street. And that same constitution, that same provision protects everybody. Everybody can say the same thing. They're not Boaga. They're not Bouaka keeping the peace. That the people, the most troublemaker, the devilish troublemaker is Joseph Yema Bouaka. You see what he done to the Supreme Court? Any country for that matter, the president said that country, less than no time, fighting all over the place, destruction going on. You ain't see it? That the president's statement is tantamount to vandalism. But he will go, he made him, they vandalized the Capitol building, got in the speaker office, they all kind of thing. He called it vandalism. When how to call him? Yeke Koliba took Rachel Kuhn picture down. He said it was an act of vandalism. Between us and the president, who is the more violent driven person? It's the president. Look at the president action. Look at the president action. Not because he's president. You look at it and say, not because you're getting $1 or $2 from Bouaka, or you think you're Unity Party president, or you think you're more Liberian than the other. No. The most violent person in this country is Joseph Yema Bouaka. Look what he has been doing over the time. You don't know that vandalism there? He disorganized the legislature today. Look at how looking. Look how Liberia look like fool in the eyes of the international community. Everybody laughing. To the extent people withholding their support to Liberia. Investors are not coming into the country. You don't know what violent or troublemakers are, or troublemaker is? I beg you, man. I see you. Let's get time is of the essence. Let's get started. You're listening to Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews. We are transmitting from Central Moravia, Front Street, adjacent the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation on the 20th day of April 2025. My guest is the chairman of Citizens United for Better Liberia, Kesali Baza. Let me say thank you so very kindly for accepting our invite to come in for this talk. I appreciate. Thank you so much, and welcome to Real Talk, Mr. Baza.
Well, Sam Andrew, first of all, I want to say I'm thrilled and I'm moved to be here, and it will interest you to know that this is my debut of being on the Kings FM 88.5, and I must admit that I feel very happy. And let me say also thank you to the management and all of the staffs of this very much world respected radio station.
What's the observation, firstly, of the atmosphere politically from your institution perspective?
Well, we somehow disappointed, and also we are somehow very concerned and scared about what is going on in our country right now, because look, Sam Andrew, from all indications, if you follow the happenings in our country right now, nobody who have gotten so much experience of this country in the past will be pleased concerning what is going on. So it's very scary. Like I said initially, it's very scary, and we just hope for the better. And that is one of the reasons why we have come here to consultize our leaders, our president, and all those parties that are involved when it comes to the saga at the House of Representatives. And so that's basically what we are. So it's very scary.
Scary in what sense? You want to outline the specifics?
Scary in the sense that if we don't take heed, if we are not mindful, if we Liberians don't take charge positively and providing our pieces of advice concerning the matter, this might drag our country backward. When I say backward, what I mean, we all have gotten, most especially those of us who were of age during the war we fought in our country. We have gotten some level of experience. Some of us saw our parents taking loads. Some of us saw their bodies all in the streets. Some of us saw people moving here and there, rocket dropping, dogs eating bodies. We saw those things. I wasn't small during the war. I saw dogs eating dead bodies. And I saw a lot of things during the war. And so we are very scared because this is exactly what happened in the past that led to those devastations that we all experience in our country. And so we are very scared. This is the reason why today we are here to conscientize the public, conscientize our leaders, conscientize the president in particular, to understand exactly. Probably he has forgotten, probably, or maybe, or perhaps this person has forgotten what we went through in this country. So we are here basically to conscientize the Republic of Liberia in general. Even some of the lawmakers today who are at the level of captive, maybe some of them were away, some of them were in exile, some of them were small. Oh yes, some of the guys like the like of this guy from District 8. You can help me with his name, Prince Toy. And that boy was very, in fact, he was even crying during the war. Hell yeah. So we have to conscientize, most especially a man like that, to tell him and tell the rest of the people that they must proceed the right way.
You ever thought
This country is all we have.
You ever thought, as a society expert, prior to the transition and when the transition took place, that Unity Party would tread this path that we find ourselves in?
Sam Andrew, you know, I don't want to speak in a way that people say, oh, that man, I suppose that man. But let me tell you this. We are all human beings. We are liable to making mistakes at any time. We told our people in the past that they must try by all means to make the rightful decision at the ballot box. And from all indication concerning what we are looking at right now, I think the variables is quite different from what the people expected. You know, I respect those who elected this regime. I respect those who elected President Joseph Human Boakai. But you know, sometimes when you put confidence in a person, that person can turn to be different. It doesn't mean that you were wrong from the onset. Maybe you did it because of the experience and what have you and your past experience with the person. But now I believe strongly that our people, some way or the other, have already started to feel that they were wrong by placing the ballots, in our boxes or those boxes, as per their respective areas that they voted. But you know, St. Andrews, Liberia is the only country we have. Some of us, we are from a very critical standpoint. We have seen a lot of things, like I started from my intro regarding our experience in war. We have come a long way in this country. That's why sometimes I look at the John brothers, I look at the comers who don't understand anything about politics. I laugh. I laugh because these guys don't understand what the Liberian people have gone through. Look, if you see the Liberian people quiet today, it's not because they are scared. People say, oh, Liberian people are scared. No. Brother, if you have experienced such a shock in life, you'll be very careful how you approach life. Brother, the years of civil conflicts that we experience in our country is so much enough. It's more than enough to make us real Liberians to be careful of the way we pursue things in our country. But it doesn't mean that we don't know what's going on.
That is what the government is feeding on, to do all that it's doing, that the people are afraid. They don't want to hear the war chaos. They don't want to hear the word conflict. So let's proceed with this. And then they will just be afraid that, oh, you're leader poor and we want conflict in this country. Because that's what we have heard all the time.
Samu, you know, my brother, I respect the Sir Arthur Newton, Lord of Motion, one of the greatest scientists that ever lived in the history of mankind.
What did he say?
He says that for every force there is an equal and opposite reaction. Not because today you are forcing the Liberian people against the war. It means then that they will not push back. It's just a matter of time. But one thing I can tell you here today, and tell the rest of my Liberian people listening to me on this radio, you know, some of us, we don't normally appear on radio. We appear when we see danger ahead. We appear when we see things that are moving away. So
There's danger ahead.
Now, let me just lay my thought on this one.
There's
right?
danger ahead. You say you speak when you see danger.
When we
ahead.
see dangers ahead, of
There's
course,
danger ahead.
Oh, of course. Sam Andrew,
what is that danger you foresee?
The danger is constitutional crisis. The danger is the shutdown of government. Of course, yes. The danger is
the government is functioning.
No, and when I mean shutdown of government, if the people can no longer bear what is going on, of course they will take on to the street. Although, of course, they will try to exercise their constitutional right. No, Sam Andrew, you gotta listen to this. Listen to me very well. We respect our leaders and we respect the democratic tenets of our country. But if people we elected to serve us at national levels, if they feel that we are some kind of figureheaded people who they can just ride on at any time, we want to use this medium to tell them that they are wrong in their analysis, in their thoughts. They are wrong. We have come on this radio to call on the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Boakai, to play that fatherly role in order to protect the peace that we all enjoy in our country. This peace has been protected even before His Excellency. Boakai must understand this. President Joseph Boakai must understand that this peace that we enjoy today has long since been protected by people who served the presidency before him. The first one, Madam Salif. Madam Ellen Johnson Salif served 12 years in this country. That was right after the war. The Madam King, she served 12 years. President George Manneh Weah came after her. He served for 6 years. He preserved peace like Madam Salif. So we expect President Boakai, Joseph Boakai, to protect this peace and attempt for this country to go back to those days that we are not anticipating or we don't even expect. He will be held responsible.
Do you think Boakai is in charge? Who is in charge from your observation of things in this country?
For me, I will not tell you that any other person is in charge with the exception of Boakai, because the only person that we know as Liberians to be in charge is Boakai. Oh yes, of course.
Is he in charge?
Oh, he swear he took the oath of office
when
to be in charge.
The question is premised on what is unfolding, the kind of decisions that are coming up. Yeah, it is. We know that he is the president. He was elected. He was constitutionally sworn in. But given what we see happening, the mixture of elementary decisions and imposition and blatant disregard, so one will wonder whether he's in charge.
Look, Sam Andrew, Sam Andrew, let me say this. Some of us, we are very professional people. We are from the background of political science. I read political science at the University of Liberia, in line with governance, right? I would not blame what is going on in our country right now, especially when it comes to the saga at the Capitol building. I would not blame this to any other person. I will not blame if this country retrogressed in chaos and anarchy. I will not blame this on anybody but Joseph Boakai. Now, people normally say, oh man, I'm in charge and whatever. You know, let me tell you something. Boakai is the president of the Republic of Liberia. He was on the ballot paper for president. And the Liberian people saw it fit and they elected him. And he came to power on the basis of swearing to protect and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. So if anything will go at the contrary of that, Boakai will be held responsible. I don't care who advising him. No, President Boakai is a mature man enough who is older than me, who got more than 43, people say 43 years of experience in government. For me, I say he got even close to 50 years experience in government. So if anything will go wrong in this country, you expect me to go who? I don't want to call him. Who should I go now? Who did the Liberian people elect or elected to be president of this country? Is it any other person that beyond him? No. Of course it's Baka. Baka is the head of this government. He is the head of this country. So if anything goes wrong, Baka will be responsible. Why do you think today we got other people today who are languaging beyond bars? We got people today who are today accountable of things that happen. If for Baka to come on and say that, oh, he will work with the quorum. Man, that is one of my major and biggest disappointment ever in life.
So you recognize Richard Kuhn as the speaker?
Me, yeah, we recognize Richard Kuhn. Then I shouldn't be the national chairperson of the Citizens United of Bella Liberia, brother. The name
Who do you recognize as speaker?
Brother, I stand by the rule of law. I stand by the Constitution that uphold and protect this nation. Look, if I will tell you that I recognize Kuhn, then it means then that no one person should be at the level of the Monrovia Central Prison. No one person should be there. Today we got our brothers and sisters languaging beyond bars. They hardly see the daylight unless maybe if they have opportunity to come out in the yard and look around to see the daylight. And after a few hours, they are taken back to their cells. They are treated like chickens and animals because the court sent them there. So today we can have our leaders, national leaders, people we elected, who disrespecting the rule of law in our country. Sir Andrew, it's just like we have had major accident and we got serious minor wounds on us. It's painful. It's painful. And we have this man who say he got 43 years of experience in our country. And coming on air to say that you work with Quorum. The biggest disappointment I've ever experienced in our country is a statement from Baka to say that you work with Quorum. That was the reason why today we saw this biggest of all mistake, this biggest of all political calamities in our country called Thomas Fada, the man who has proved himself to be one of Liberia's ever mistake in our country. The man who is considered to be Liberia's disgraceful enemy.
Why the emphasis on him?
This man went this man went in the office of Fonati Kofa, who they court runner to be the legitimate speaker of the Republic of Liberia, and started cutting those lawless lawmaker names and putting Margaret out of our court proceedings. Thomas Fada. The disgrace that I with that ball, brother, I have never seen its equal.
What kind of disgrace? Unprecedented?
Unprecedented disgrace. A disgrace that even me, like, yeah, I can't explain. But I can assure you.
What would that be?
My man, and we all in the country, and we are Thomas Fada, Thomas Fada, I'm referring to him directly. He knows me. He knows who Kesali Baza is. Thomas Fada, the God of this land, the God who is protecting and covering each and every one of us in this country as Liberians. That God will get to you soon. If you feel you, Thomas Fada, you can desecrate and submerge this country into retrogression and backwardness. We're gonna show you,
Thomas
Fada,
Thomas Fada is just one person, one of many.
Samu, you don't know, but I know. I've been in a house. Thomas Fada spent 20 years in a house. I've been around our place even before Thomas Fada. When we were setting planks, we are the capital building. Like 20 years here now. That ball, he the one caused this whole disruption.
How did he?
Thank you very much. That brother was the one who encouraged the guys to go against our legitimate speakers we have in the country, as the Supreme Court rightly told us, which is Honorable J. Fonati Kofa, when he was in Italy, it was Destin Tomofala who were able to wrongly advise the guys who don't know the meaning of their presence at the House of Representatives. It was Tomofala who initiated this whole saga, this whole problem today in our country, this whole legislative crisis, constitutional crisis we are faced with.
How do you know that?
Samu, you think if I'm not armed with the information I want to be brave to count the radio today? I'm telling you.
So Thomas,
listen now, I come in. Listen.
No, I just want to bring in.
But wait. Let me learn this.
He put himself up front to be used as the executor of the plan from the executive. Is that what you're saying?
Thomas Farah initially wanted favor from Bwaka. And let this thing go far and wide. You know that Joe Bwaka had issue with Thomas Farah right after the election. So because he wanted favor.
What was that issue he had with him?
The issue was just very simple. You remember the crisis that led to the death of that boy who was killed in Koblo.
Where?
In Foya. Did you not follow that? From the CDC there? Okay. Now what the whole thing started from? It started from Thomas Farah fence in Foya. Go there and ask. So there was that bitterness between Farah and Bwaka. So because he wants to gain favor from Bwaka, hey man, I'm surprised at Thomas Farah, man. Very much surprised. With all of what?
So he executed the plan.
But it was Thomas Farah executed this plan. I'm telling you this. It was Thomas Farah. My man.
Samuel Koga and the rest of the guy.
My man, Samuel Koga could not much
later.
Samuel Koga, my own man, ain't just one election in Nima. Samuel Koga could not muster the courage. But they say if the hot not say you, the street can buy you. Look at you. So you how they call it, Sam Andrew, you don't know what's going on, eh? Look at it. That Thomas Farah then playing the whole thing. I know really what Bwaka told him. Hey man, you from a common plain vendor, you are mere representative. And you are mere representative.
And
you are mere representative.
Fonati Kofa did help him to become deputy speaker because Mema Briggs Mensa was in a race and she was poised to win. At the 11th hour, everything changed and he became deputy speaker.
You know how he became deputy speaker? We all were at the hey man, how they call it? It was I don't know where they get it. They bang. LPDR bang. That which streets are on that
just go ahead.
Yeah, but listen now. I want to be very specific. We all used to be around that place, right? And then during the meetings, my man, Thomas Farah was all in the midst of the guys. All in the midst. I knew that he could become deputy speaker because of the way he was really purporting himself. And for Dante being a sincere man, a man who can bite and blow, live up to his voice. But that was the worst thing Fonati ever did, brother. To make Thomas Farah deputy speaker, it was the worst thing. It was the worst thing. And today we see the way the brother proceeded. But Thomas Farah is not the point of argument here anyway. The point of argument is President Joseph Bwaka decision to stab the Constitution in the back. That's the point of argument. The same Constitution that brought into power today.
Hold on to that. Had Fonati Kofa been a saint speaker throughout?
Whether he has been a saint speaker throughout?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're trying to say.
The guys came. How did he conduct himself? Your observation, how you saw him conduct himself in the legislature.
Same Andrew.
The guys brought several claims against him. All of them, his role as speaker. So I'm asking your personal observation of him. Has he conducted himself well? Which will mean, if your answer is yes, then the guys brought accusations, trump up accusation against him. Did he conduct himself as the Speaker of the House of Representatives well?
Well, Sam Andrew. If you ask the guys, from all indication, they will tell you that the guy absolutely no demean issue against Fonati Kofa, right? Who today they heavily fought. Fonati Kofa, the Speaker Fonati Kofa. Yeah, I respect the rule of law. I refer to him as Speaker. Speaker Fonati Kofa lived up to his promises. Okay, the area I'm talking about is Muret Plaza. Muret Plaza, right? All of their meetings at Muret Plaza, man, if you could see Tom Fala perform at Muret Plaza, you are saying you're going to give up. The brother, he said he to be ushering a man to go in the office to our meeting.
Yep, we are well done. Okay. Stay with the Speaker.
Now, the Speaker actually lived up to all of what he promised colleagues. That's why people who needed to be placed on committees were placed on committees. You saw how the guys were sitting. But because of the argument that, he is from the CDC, that's just the brother crime today. That is just his crime. You call Speaker Kofa, he will tell you it's just because he runs CDC ticket and you are seen as CDC lawmaker and he won. That was his greatest crime. That was the reason why today the brother was fought illegally to that extent. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate.
Will he stay on as Speaker of the House of Representatives?
Now, I follow the communication written by Honorable Musa Bedede to the former President of this Republic, Her Excellency, Mana Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Look, for me, I admire the political stand of Honorable Bedede. These are people that Liberians should be hailing in this country. Honorable Bedede was clear. He wrote the communication to the former president, Mana Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He said, Mana Sirleaf. In fact, let me read it. Let me read it and be very clear with my people, because I believe that our people are following here. So let me read it quickly concerning what he wrote to the former president. Here is it. Here is it. Okay. Here is it. It's a statement on rule of law caucus proposal regarding the House of Representatives crisis. It says here, the rule of law caucus has officially submitted a draft proposal to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for forward transmission to all parties involved in the ongoing leadership crisis within the House of Representatives. The proposal, once adopted through a bidding resolution, seeks to bring an end to the reign of Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa and will ensure the conduct of a free, fair, and transparent election for a new Speaker of the House. It represents a significant step forward in restoring trust, upholding democratic principles, and fostering genuine reconciliation among members of the House. So you see that? These are the kind of thing we're talking about. Yeah. These are the recommendations we want.
The communication is good, in your opinion.
Of course.
That means Fonati Kofa, you see Fonati Kofa leaving the speakership.
Oh, yes.
And Richard Cohn stays on as the speaker.
No, it's not what the communication you're saying.
No, I'm asking you that question.
Which question you asking me? Yeah.
I said that you see Fonati Kofa leaving the speakership, and you say yes. So if he leaves, Richard Cohn claims that he is the speaker. He has gotten all the support. He continues to have the backing of his colleagues. So he stays on as the speaker. Do you see him as the speaker?
No, he's not. Well, I will see Kun as speaker.
He's doing everything as the speaker.
But man, according to the Supreme Court ruling, interpretation of what is going on right now, Kun is in gross violation of our constitution. So what Peter is saying here, if we cannot continue on this path. All right. So you say that
is understood, Mr. Baza. It seems nothing is going to change. They are confident. They are moving with all of their plans. So whatever the vision in place to broker a peace and to have everything amicably resolved will just be an illusion, as evident by what the guy is doing. And then they got the support of Joseph Yema Boakai.
My brother, Samu, let me tell you something. Nobody has manipulating over violence, or nobody is above the constitution in our country. As far as we are concerned, that thing couldn't doing to be moving around our sentence limit with REP 1 is in total violation of our constitution.
So you got 2 REP 1.
Yeah.
The speaker
you see
move with REP 1. Richard Kun is moving with REP 1.
And you see the kind of disgrace we continue to have as it relates to the international scene. That's a disgrace. That's a mockery of who the Liberian people. That's a mockery of our constitution. That's a mockery of the Supreme Court.
What can you tell Richard Kun? Speak to Richard Kun.
Look, ask me what I can tell Richard Kun. But I don't have to talk to that buffon. Richard Kun must already understand that he is in total violation of our constitution. No, let me tell you something.
He is a
buffon. That's what Richard Kun doing, huh?
He is a buffon.
Richard Kun.
What is a buffon? Or who is a buffon?
A buffon is a clown. Also, a clown is somebody who is just a phone box and who understands absolutely nothing, and who can be used by people to just go and just make people laugh and merry and amuse people. That's who Kun is. And the worst thing about Kun, but going Kun constituents, yeah, today Kun enjoys power as a representative, not even as a speaker, because of the Supreme Court ruling. Brother, come 1 minute. You follow the issue with countrymen. 12. When they went to the court said, "Oh yeah, man, I'm domiciled because of the time, blah blah blah." Honorable 12 had to give way because he's a respecter of the rule of law in our country. That's how you saw that boy who called himself Bo. That how he was able to.
How he calls himself?
Bo. You know the man is okay.
What do you mean?
My man, the man adapted our slang, our terminology on campus. You know on campus?
What do you mean by Bo?
Bo is the same as, hey, colleagues, hey, my friend, my dear brother. Bo. So that how he adapted that. That was the man I used to get people tests on campus. The man will teach you accounting, my man. The man will tell you, say, when you pass my test, I give $50 US. Brother, how that boy used to join a test? It still with me a mystery today. That what I mean, adapted that criminal behavior. Kun a human being. Look at someone I want to go. Let me tell you something, my brother. We're not stupid in this country. The only silver money disappointment we have today, that in Boakai. We expect you to be a father. You come, you go, you say, oh, in fact, there was a contradiction. They got Pia had prior mere engagement before even Boakai. PSA will respect the rule of law as a government. The next evening, that same day, in the evening, Paga went on and say, well, the rule of law. You see the contradiction? The guys don't even know what they're doing. My man, Kun. Richard Kun must be careful because, man, we got two Kun. We got Jeremiah Kun, we got Richard Kun. Even Jeremiah Kun said in the past, he said, anything the court says, that why they stand by. I don't know why he's saying now as it relates to the whole saga. These people will understand that they don't have monopoly or violence in this country. All the Christian people today you find in the street, most especially in all parts of this country, that not one woman born there. We are extremely disappointed in the president for that statement that your well will go wrong. I mean, made a point of going to the office of the speaker and
so they increasing the quorum now. They're encouraging people by to join them. So when they have 49-50, they will think that they are fully legitimized, and Richard Kun continues to preside as the speaker.
My brother, Richard Kun should not.
So what's the disparity between what they are doing and what the Supreme Court came down with?
The Supreme Court is saying that there is a proceeding.
Everything illegal.
Everything is illegal. What they're doing.
So it's not about normal any longer.
No, not about normal.
It has shifted from normal.
I beg you, not normal. The Supreme Court is not talking about normal. No, the Supreme Court is saying that there's a proceeding.
So gathering normal as they are doing is a waste of time.
It's still they are staying in error. Even for Baga to say you're well with Koron, he's staying in error. That's why you see from the onset I said, but Baga for 43 years of experience in government, it's a waste of time. Yeah, why you boast off, why other people boast off 43 over here? For me, I say even more than 43 years. Now the thing about it is, it's not about the number of persons you have on the side. The interpretation, it doesn't go that way, right? Now, the thing about it is, the legitimate speaker is Fonati Kofa. Now, if you want to remove this man, that's a proceeding as per their standing rules. Go back in chamber. That a man can appear as a speaker. Provide your issues.
Samuel Kogat said they provided him due process. They gave him due process.
How they gave him due process? Well, in Honorable Kofa dream, or all the time he was in Italy that they provided due process while they were I don't blame now. Yeah, I'm blaming. I don't really blame him. Oh, on a serious note, I'm a man. Oh, Koga, leader Koga, man. Now, so even if Speaker Koga resign, the issue is we must still go for election. Yeah, according to the Supreme Court interpretation, we must still go for election. Sam Andrew, but no, somehow the way Baga them running this country is disappointing. It's sick. It's very sickly.
Because when the speaker resigns, there is a vacancy, and that vacancy has to be filled.
It must be contested for. But people must go for election. And why my man Bede is saying, the communication he wrote to the former president, Ellen Johnson, that's why he's pushing for.
And that is what the government, and the executive don't want.
And that is even what the Supreme Court is saying.
So they will not go for.
If they don't do that, Fonati will remain the legitimate speaker as per the rule of law. So they can go ahead and proceed with the proceeding that they the one will continue to cause problems with the country because no sure manner international community or countries around the world want to do business with this government. Because the first thing they don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect the rule of law.
Is it having any bearing on the government presently from the international
serious bearing? Why you think they are the MCC stuff were being completely put to a halt by America? But it's because of the same thing. Who told that people are not following? These people are following. Oh yeah, when the Pope died, who they recognize? Follow they recognize J. Fonati Kofa as a speaker. Oh, you joking? Yeah, he definitely said That thing Kun is on, Richard Kun passing around, misbehaving. You feel that what the people looking at outside, they're wasting their time. They will just strongly us and suffer the Liberian people. But now the police are to take to the street, they will use one Gregor common to shoot their legs and kill them in cold blood. That's what they've been doing. That's why you see the Liberian people very careful nowadays. They are strategic. They put forward what happened in King George. And even now, maybe when I leave this place, they might be after me. But brother, I'm a lawman man. And Baga say, Kissy man.
The two of you
try me.
You're from the same county.
Baga, no, we're not from the same country. Baga is not from Lofa. Baga is from Sierra Leone. I continue to say this. Yeah. Baga is from Sierra Leone.
I mean, are your Kissy brother, are your Lofa brother?
I said this thing in the past, and I'll continue to say this.
You disowning your own?
My man, look at the mountain Baga feet, the two jaw up and down, on the eyeball, the serenity mark, 3. We got any kind of cultural society that support that. Our own, we know and put it. But look at Baga face now. The serenity come jaw. You don't know that? Look, let me say this to Baga. If you listen to me and all of your associates, this country is not for you. President Joseph Baga, I call President Joseph Baga because Liberian people elected you, and our house, the election house that can announce people to be winner of elections announced you. That's why I'm referring to you as president.
Okay.
Now, President Joseph Baga, this country, if you allow this country to retrogress in chaos and backwardness, you will be held responsible, Papi. Do not allow few people to misbehave, to lie to you, and you cause problems for things are already high on us. Some of you don't even eat in this country. My man, you must roll your sleeves. You must roll your trousers full. Just like you're going fire in the ring to eat. And not easy. But to survive in this country, not easy. If you got family, it's not easy. People pray that even that children him on our head side because it cause distraction. The money is all go feed them with. You use it for medical bill and things. Brother, problem. Brother, school fees. Schools. You know how many schools? When they whole year end, you know how many parents can still be holding schools in this country? The other semester again, you have to add it up. In fact, there are some parents that can be paying for arrears while they in the other new academic year. It's still happening. Then you brag, you feel because we gave you power, you got money now, so you misbehaving. Baga is misbehaving. Why is he doing that to us? To call out a boy, that rascal, that danger we met who call himself Radio Kun, to call you and tell you, moment you wrong in error, that ain't a big thing. Or you want Liberians to die in cold blood before you can come. I'm going to go out now. Because, brother, enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Even if a new government come after Baga administration, all of them, including Baga and Kun, will account for the Liberian people money. So they continue stealing from us. Okay, you can steal from us, but the time comes you give account. But we'll not allow you to drag our country to chaos and anarchy.
Before we get to the line, your observation of the April 22nd senatorial by-election in Nimba County.
That election, the only reason why Kun won that election because the boy already had Samuel Koga. I have to do something with my man. One of my men says that we are friends. I mean, man, even bad people, man. You know, friendship must continue. It doesn't mean the man bad now. We can still tell them.
What's your observation of that?
My man, is because the people had a minor senator. They couldn't have two minor senators. That's the reason why they elected him. Because he's a guild man. If that boy was a Okay, the way he killed, if that lady,
Edith,
Congo Way was a Gio woman, she was gonna win Koga.
you follow the bill up to the election day. Did you follow it?
They built up
Yeah, the campaign period.
the kind of people they put up, right? My man, come here. Like I told you, the reason Koga won that election, it was because the people in Nima, you know, when Prince Johnson was alive, he speak on those things that not one group of people should be having, you know, the same tribal group in power. That was the only reason.
Corruption. Speak to corruption briefly. Has the government made significant strides in tackling corruption?
How the government made significant strides in tackling corruption when the government does not respect the rule of law? Any government that does not respect the rule of law, you for corruption? Corruption is a contradiction to the rule of law. That means the government is the hero of corruption, the face of corruption, that Baga government. My man, you want steal? You want your money? You want your government money? You want steal? Enter this government, you steal. Oh yeah, if Baga will tell that you well with the rule of law and take respect in the Supreme Court, then you say I'm gonna discuss with you on corruption. The government isn't bearing corruption. The government, this government is a champion of corruption. You talk about corruption. You know how many money now Baga get in your room?
His room?
Hmm?
In his room? He has money in his room?
You probably, man, sir, are you not following me? You think Baga ain't got money in bank? You joking? That boy gets serious money now.
How do you know that?
Because you're talking confusing now. How you well, what's that? All that nonsense.
So,
wait.
So he has money in his room. It is the money that he's using to execute his plans.
That the money that making Baga confused for we. He doesn't want to do what is right. My man, a struggling man.
A president doesn't keep money in his bedroom.
Why me president give money in bedroom? You not letting to do them when we do the late Prince Johnson and when the king. No, that Prince Johnson. Who was inside? One of the general. I think who said, "Oh, yeah, the money, yeah, you bring it out." Yep. Mama, they make that money to her. You won't be arguing with me on that one. Look at, they make that money. They make that money for all the different expenses. They make that money.
So the government is as corrupt as they will accuse their predecessors. This government is corrupt or is swimming in corruption as they will accuse their predecessors of being corrupt.
Oh man, this government got nothing to justify that. What all they spoke about concerning the previous government, they are fighting against it. They got nothing to prove. In fact, they are even doing more than what they even talk about. Oh yeah, there are some things the government doing that we didn't experience in the past government. There was no time in our country for President former president, we are to come and say you're well with the rule of law. And I will rule about with caucus. In fact, he would do X, Y, and Z. He didn't say that. Whenever there was a crisis in our country during the former president administration, he will find resolution. We saw it many times in our country. In fact, all through the legislature, we didn't see one crisis there when your man Buffer Chimers was the speaker. Not one day. You heard that kind of thing? Oh yes. When I said it down, we saw it. 2 different speakers was being changed. But who told you that lawmakers at the time never had issues against Buffer Chimers? But the better ability to control things. What you saw the Buffer Chimers administration went on smoothly.
Back to Capitol Hill politics before we open the line. Did you witness what unfolded at the House of Representatives over the weekend? The installation of iron gate?
Thank you very much. I was just about to see that. Rachel Kuhn.
Did you see that before?
I didn't see that. All the time I've been
from 1822
up to the time
2023.
that rascal say he's a speaker. Rachel Kuhn.
So this is the first time in Liberia's history.
First time. The very first time. Let me make this explicit to our Liberian people. This rascal called Rachel Kuhn, a mayor representative of District 11 Mosovara County, was able to install iron gate at the offices of the Speaker's office. He didn't want to stop there. He also placed security, not security, but disgruntled and malicious people at various entrances of the Capitol building. When you entering, they observe you. Many times they got tell me at the Capitol building there, search my bag and I don't know what I was in there. Some of them, one of the guys that were working.
But yeah, it's the normal security session.
No.
Because that is the first branch of government.
No.
But stick to that gate.
No, listen, I will stick to the gate. But the guy would tell me, now security man, I just pretty close man. Man, you can't say the bazaar. I'm going to see what in your bed. But I see one muscle.
But you haven't been critical of the man who.
But you don't have to be critical. You don't have to be critical of what the men that know you. Look at you, don't even know what I mean. The man up for real problem, not peace. The man up for trouble.
The security.
Now regarding the gate issue, today the Bobo gate, iron gate. Honorable Buffer Streamers, the former speaker, was there.
Why do you think he did that?
For 6 years, he didn't put gate.
Yes, we know that.
He did it because he is illegitimate. I mean, anything you take wrongly, you get scared. No. You go, you steal somebody's money, huge amount of money, you get it all. You will be scared of how you keep that money. In fact, when you put on your
so he feels insecure, he insecure.
Mm-hmm. He is insecure. He feels insecure. He feels insecure.
Okay.
And one thing I want to tell you also, the Unity Party is a hero of moving speaker in our country. The Unity Party is noted for removing speaker. Edison at this time, they moved 2 speakers. They move Aaron Snow and Eric Stallo. And today, the same illegal way to move those people, today they have come to jail, Honorable Jail Fonati, Speaker Jail Fonati Kufa. So they are noted for that.
The opposition community.
Now let me learn on this gate issue.
Time is of the.
Let me learn on the gate issue.
You've already made that clear.
If Kuhn wanted, he can bring experts from all around the world to put iron shield to that door. If the time is wrapped enough, he will leave that office because he is illegitimate. It's not a rival speaker.
The opposition community, what can you say? What's your observation? They need to do what?
Well, the opposition community, I admire their courage this gone time when they met and to discuss a wide range of issues concerning what is going on in our country. I admire that, and I want them to continue. Because, brother, if we all don't stand strong to speak to this boy they call Joseph Imam Bouaga, who is not the president.
You call the president boy?
Well, he's a boy. We all are boys now. Oh, yeah. He better picking, he better son before becoming president.
Yeah, but he is.
But the law here calling boy. Look at man saying around here, we deal with them. We Bouaga for years. Let me put on me in the country.
He is a full-grown man.
My man, the man is a political boy. It's a boy. Politically, I understand something more than Bouaga.
But boy means politically mentally turning.
My man, politically, Bouaga is a boy, man. If I were in the position of Bouaga is in, long time the saga is over because I'm a capable manager. I could professionally manage the saga. This crisis. But Baba can't say he will wear with Quran. He's a boy to me, politically speaking. I understand plenty of him. Even my 4-year-old son who went to school today, his mother just come in and he's back home. If he put that boy in the presidency, he can do better than Bwaga. You think age that what matters in life? Maturity is better.
Yes, that's true.
But you can get all the experience when you're not mature, nothing.
We have this understanding, this biblical understanding. I think Josiah, he was at age 8 when he ascended the throne. Yeah. So the height does not matter.
The height doesn't matter?
Yeah.
The height doesn't matter. But let me say something. Come Andrew. But we know exactly what we want in our country. But I should not feel because of the silent or Liberian people, it means that they're stupid.
The opposition needs to hold together.
Okay, now on the opposition
as I listen to you,
they
hold together.
They must continue to hold together. I listen to
guide against intrusion and any potential crack amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's what the government will want to do or they are trying to do. Because that meeting over the weekend sent a shockwave, fear within the spines of the government. That's your argument. They need to hold together.
The opposition community must hold together in order to protect the peace and sanity of this country. Because if they only leave Bwaga alone, brother, the country will drag into calamities and chaos. You saw what happened in Lofa. That boy came in cold blood.
Okay.
Try to get his name.
DeLong. You've been following his, but you are aware. You've been around for a while now. You are aware of how he was very, very vocal, very recalcitrant.
Yeah, DeLong.
So the former administration. Today his government is in. You observe anything strong, vocal of him as he was in the past?
Well, Honorable Darius DeLong is a man who I respect highly in this country, and I continue to respect him. Senator Darius DeLong remains a critical voice in our country. But there's another saying that says
presently,
he's a critical voice, not openly, but he's a critical voice inside.
Hey, man.
I'm begging you, yeah. All the guys are people that know me very well. Now, about DeLong issues,
No,
DeLong's a traditional man.
I'm watching your countenance.
Let me.
You're very critical, very emotional. I see you as you sit before me of other people. It comes to DeLong, your countenance drop, your tone.
No, because DeLong, I respect DeLong. Let me tell you something. Even when it comes to the Supreme Court ruling, you know how they don't stand by that? They don't stand by the rule of law in our country.
You believe that. You trust his words.
But man, I know DeLong very well.
But it was the same man who said that had the Senate not recognized Richard Cohen as Speaker, the government would have shut down. Then how can he be the same man accepting the Supreme Court's ruling? That is a contradiction.
Is that how the Senate know what?
Had the Senate not recognized Richard Cohen as Speaker.
That was prior to the Supreme Court ruling.
Yep, but it means the same thing.
No, it means the same thing.
It
means the same thing.
No, it is.
At the time the class was on, you needed somebody who say he's a speaker to flow, right? To flow. Until the law can come, somebody you gotta listen to me. When you talk to somebody, that's what I'm talk to.
No, time is of the
essence. Now the Supreme Court, they don't needed the time for the Supreme Court to come and interpret this thing and make this thing clear. Today, if you invite Honorable DeLong, Senator of Maserado, you invite him right in the studio, he will tell you that he supported the rule of law. He supported the Supreme Court decision. Oh, yes. He was at the Capitol building.
It is what you observe of him.
Oh, he was at the Capitol building. We saw DeLong there. We saw Honorable Senator.
But they had no option. They had no option but to
we saw the Senator Nathaniel Faro McGill riding with Darius DeLong in Darius DeLong vehicle to leave the ground of the judicial, which is also the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And we saw the guys were together.
You're listening to the Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me, St. Andrews. My guest is the head of United Citizens United for Better Liberia, Kesali Baza. You can have your say now on 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 980375. Hello. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. You are on the air. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much for a particular program. I'm going to listen to the program. It's a fun program today. But I want to tell you something.
What is your name? What is your name and where are you speaking from?
Hello? Oh, my name? Hello?
What is your name and where are you speaking from?
Okay, this is Peter Calum, calling from Township of West Point.
Speak.
Thank you very much. You see, let me tell you something. The law of the country is a more people to jail today. The law, the broad law. When they put a sub B, they say they go there. The court now is a set for them to judge. But because the court, the people go there, they get it, so they go in jail. So what the government will tell? They put a line funny because I got to go. They put a go in jail. Don't judge me. They put in there. And law said so. So when law said they won't come to my head, I will tell Waka, he called, but you could tell that man, you could have the man, you want to call it, you have boy, you anyway, you want Waka call for Joya for, but because
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, well, good evening, sir.
Yes.
This is Gertrude J.D. Williams. I'm calling from Johnsonville. Listening to your studio guest, and I want to address the issue of the capital building and Richard Nambukum. From the time that Labrador held her first general and presidential election, if you do your research, it was on the 27th of September 1847, with two political parties, the pro-administration and the anti-administration. There has not in any other way for an iron door, as if to say that West Point on a door community, somebody living, they want to secure somewhere. We're talking about standardizing doors, where you have an electronic door that you can use. I don't think you got people that are working there to use a working ID card and move in the area that you carry iron doors. Who does that? It's so shameful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you too for calling. Have a nice day. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon. You didn't know where you call from.
I call for Tasha.
Let's hear you.
I said, the guest, thank you. What I explain. But the explanation should not leave on that one. We need to go outside and show the strength to the people to know what will happen in our mind, because they put damage in our country. The thing is, it's strength. It only lives. But we can't say that when we stop planting strength. The thing about saying it was that's so good thing in nature in it.
But when you know that now, you ain't gotta be where you can put yourself together, you move out too now. It's not just saying action has to be taken. You can take action, you can rally your fellow women and other guys around and move out. That's what we're doing. So we the radio station people, we can't every day we take the risk. We're talking. So you have to move. Then we supporting you. That's how you looking. That how you can be all over the world, yeah?
Okay, thank you for that. We'll do that.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you.
My name is Emmanuel Samuel calling from Ralph Yahweh.
Let's hear you, Emmanuel.
Okay. Straight to the issue. I want to address your student guest, right? And I want to tell you that whenever you are having student guests like that, sometimes you try to limit his languages and use on the radio. I noticed that he used some profound languages that was looking, bad to the society, right?
Thank
Okay,
you.
we look at you.
Thank you, Chief. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Sir Andrew.
Let's hear you quick.
Yeah, this is David calling. I love a brave man like your studio guest. That's why I came here and a reception to tell you he's a brave man. Baka will not take on. He won't take on. So he will run away and will kill one another and go see that to the home Israel. He will not do it. He will call the road behind and he will run away. Just what happened some time ago way back in Albania.
Okay.
That whistle and knocking in the whole country and the president run away.
Thank
That's
you.
how come to go.
Hello.
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, people say, Andrew, this is Massimo speaking from district number 14.
Let's hear you, Maximo.
Yeah, let me say thank you and to our student guest, Brother Kesali. You know, comrades, you put everything right. The issue that had to do with the speaker, I think the impact need to come to an end by the so-called majority bloc gathering the number and part of the raffle procedure. That no Liberian would say they will not support it. Speaker Kofa was not born to be a speaker for Liberia forever. But all we call for is a rifle procedure. So we embrace it, having to gather the number, let them go in the chamber, and the speaker recruits himself as a speaker, let them remove him legally. And coming to the issue that had to do with corruption, all of management of funds of party government, I think the true definition of United Party corruption and God disrespect for the rules of law. So all we expect of the government is to continue to respect the rules of law.
Okay,
because they have never respected us. So let me say thank you for this and the Spanish discussion. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice Monday. Hello. 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 Cut your radio off. Cut off the radio.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Let's hear you. The radio can be loud and you expect you to call affect our ear. Cut the radio off. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Joseph KP calling you from Chicken Factory.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, the studio guests have said for the president to say going to deal with quorum, that language is appear like an elementary student speaking. So if the speakers could say he is the boy, through his speaking appear like a boy. So we need to be serious in this country. If the sitting president can condemn the rule of law, then where we heading to? We are heading to nothing. So that means the guys will corrupt, will steal our money, and nobody will judge them.
Okay.
Because if you condemn the judiciary, then where are we going?
Thank you.
The Reggie Kung for the Iron Gate, and that place is for us, and not for you. We the one that elected you to go there to represent us. So you don't have no right to go Iron Gate. And when we're ready, we will move the Iron Gate. Thank you for the show.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, Andrew, I say.
Let's hear you quick.
My name is Abraham Yuma. I call from Kesali Police. Yeah, I want to say thank you to the guy. He talk on wide range of things, wide range of issues, and he talk about the Nima County election. Let me get the team is the father. I say that two people can become senators. Saint Joseph and Jeremiah were just senators. They came for the give bill as well, and they are happened before. So not just that. And also, the way they intimidated the people, they carry army people, they put it out for whatever, either Congress, all those things. They put their foot of corruption. And they are all over corruption. How will the court rule? Then you say you acknowledge it, but then you will work with quorum. Does he understand the word quorum? So the student guy was just right to say he's a bomb.
Thank you so much.
That brought for them. Anything they do, they must stay. And other things that the law says, they will not stay. So take.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Andrew.
Your name and where you come from?
My name is Moses Nimna, joining from Kambasa. Yeah, you know, the problem is we take the ball jaw and give it to the man. We got the man say, because you say, man join, you know, we take the man jaw, we give it to the man, we take the ball jaw, we give it to the man. So the man will suffer in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for spicing up the show. I appreciate all of you. You did extremely well. Let me sound discussion. Listen, I know that you people are excited, you're motivated every day. You people are on, we are inspired by your presence. And when you are following the show, you keep your radio on loud. That's good. But when we reach the call session, then you tune down the volume of your radio. If you keep it on loud, when you call, it runs straight in the earpiece. It's very loud in our ears. I know you want everybody to hear you talking on the air, but once it reaches to the time when you hear the talk show host say, let's go to the liner, then you reduce the volume of your radio since you are about to call. If you leave it that way, you call, it will run straight in our ear. It can give us hard time. Yeah, I beg you. So, Mr. Baza, you
Yeah.
can respond now and include your parting comments.
Yeah, Samuel. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, and thank you to our callers who just spiced the conversation up. I listened to the first caller who talked about the Iron Door issue. One of our sisters. Sorry, I didn't get the name, but it's true what you said.
Get true,
right? Since the inception of this country, since the history of the country, we have never had that. Oh yes, since the foundation of this nation, we have never had iron gate being placed at the offices of the speaker. Richard Kuhn is the first man who has done that. In fact, that bird has just made history. Oh yeah, to put iron gate. But if you see the iron that ball placed at that door, man, you just feel say that area now has been open as to be one of the areas to host criminals. I mean, criminals who have been sanctioned by courts, and or found guilty by courts. It's extremely wrong. Why are we here as a nation of people? Why would this boy, one man, continue to drag this country into chaos, into disgrace, into retrogression? Why? But the time is coming that we Liberians will say, no, enough is enough. Now listen to the next caller, who this was an applaud. Said, thank you. We need to go outside to express what we're saying. Oh yeah, my sister, there's time for everything. Today we have come to conscientize these people, these lawless people, headed by Richard Kuhn, and then Joseph Imam Bwaka, who expect to know better, who expect to be our father, a president who the Liberian people voted for to do what is right. You can tell you, well, going on the Supreme Court has spoken. The time is coming, we'll go out to express ourselves. Everything is time. Now the next caller, the third one Emmanuel Samuel Robert. I was able to get his name from Robert Field Highway. He said I should observe my language, but there's no, there's nothing in this to observe. I just being very clear. I just been very succinct and very, 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 very much clear to the point. Brother Samuel, my man, this thing, there's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to bring honey and rub it around it. The raw thing we must say. Just how the people feel that the Supreme Court order, it doesn't mean anything to them, or the Supreme Court ruling, it just means a mirage. We must tell them in our faces too that they are boys, they are girls who behave as such. And so we tell them bling. This country for every one of us, not because I remember me president, if you more than any other Liberian. No, I could be president too. Sam Andrew here could be president. My brother here with me still. Charles Robert could be president too. You understand what I'm saying? So each and every one of us can be president. So today, Bwaka has been opportune to be our president. It doesn't mean that you have monopoly over our constitution, or you have you the final arbiter of our country, of our constitution. No, we got the Supreme Court who is the final arbiter. Now listen to the fourth caller who said, "I'm a brave man." Yeah, of course, I appreciate that, but this thing has nothing to do with being brave. It's just to speak our mind, and what we're saying here is just the reality. If I step out there, you want to do anything to me, it's up to them. But I can assure you that you want Bwakai. If you dare try, hey, papi, the whole of Sheridan will be on fire. Now, listen to the fifth speaker, Maximo. He said the speaker crisis must come to an end. Yeah, brother, this is why we have come to talk. This is the reason why Honorable Musa Hassan Bedele wrote the former president to help to buttress the effort of them. Yes, of course, if you want the speaker, Jeff Fernandez Kofa, route to come to an end, yet willing. But let open the process to a free, fair, and transparent election. We can get one rascal, one janta we murder and call a radio passing around the place saying speaker when the Supreme Court, even up the Supreme Court has told him that you're not speaker. He's still riding around here with Representative One, passing around, masquerading, misbehaving, saying he's speaker. Isn't that war fighting in the country? If you outlaw, then I'll take the one of the call said, I take our brother and sister from the South Beach there. All of those languages beyond police bars, they take them out. Say in fact we don't want to respect the rules, rules, the laws of our country, the rules and order. They take our brothers from prison. They take our sisters from prison. They take our mothers, our fathers, our sons, our doctors from prison. Now, listen to Joseph Pada, who is the sixth caller, said it all. The president said he's going to deal with, I think, with Quran. Yeah. That's what the president said. He's going to work with Quran. And I think the president saying the statement of the president concerning that is in error. This is not about working with Quran. This is about telling Richard Kuhn, telling that boy, that rascal, that boy who managed his way at the national legislature, if you are not banned for the same Supreme Court who ruled to stop a country man from running into 11, you are not going to be represented. While country man, Nimini Twe, we're going to defeat that ball face down. Nimini Twe, I'm begging you here. We're going to stand for Nimini Twe. That mean one, that reckless one. Huh? That janja we want. Oh, the military are going to defeat him. I see that Supreme Court saving today. The same Supreme Court are saving. That same Supreme Court want to disrespect today. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Now listen to Emmanuel Yuma. Yeah, you talk about manner analysis. You talk about Prince Johnson and Samuel Koga. Now the issue about Emmanuel Yuma, listen to me, my brother. Listen to me, my brother. When I said the Nima County people could not afford to get 2 minor senators, what I meant is, I was not talking about representative, because when Prince Johnson was senator, Samuel Koga at the time was representative. You got to get this clear. Prince Johnson was a Guild man. All right? He died. He's dead and gone. Now, Samuel Koga came after him and ran to be senator. The only reason Samuel Koga won the election because of Guild man. If that lady, help me with the knee again. Edith Congo well, if that lady were a Guild woman, I beg him out. Samuel Koga, my woman, you're not going to win an election. I want to tell him bling. I'm going to say, man, you ain't winning election. That was the only reason why he won. He didn't win an election because United Party or the ND Aragab, the Nimagani book have favor in them. No. Watch and see 2029. Now, listen to the last caller, Moses Nimne. He said, we'll take boss job to give the man. We'll take boss job to give the man. No, we took man job to give the boss. Not boss job to man. So if you said it that way, you got it wrong. And so, this is the only country we have. For Boaga got 2 countries. Boaga mean country that's Sierra Leone. Oh, yes. Oh, but you don't know that? Mama, you don't know me, eh? I look at Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in this country. I told her, I said, madam, one time she called us at the Foreign Affairs, the Sister Dennis Hall. She can talk about how, in fact, we should encouraging people to go in the sciences and when I do too much politics. I said, man, I said to you, what did you learn at the university? Not economics. What are you discussing? I'm politics. Who are you today? Are you an economist or you are a president? President John, I'm political job. I just start fooling us here. I told her, the one thing here, Mera at the certain pavilion. She want to get us a studio. I said, man, you can't pass. I will tell you. She said, who is boy?
What do you know Boaga learned at the university?
of the nonsense will not even know. That is a mystery on our paper. All the teenagers are confused. Let me tell Paga today. And in fact, yeah, the Yoruba people know me. They know me, oh, they know Baza. They playing fun. And
you don't know what he read, his specialty?
My man, all to the man say agriculture. You been in agriculture sector. But you even go to you now get one garden there. Me, call my one, I planted corn, I planted cassava, I planted potato green, and then palawa sauce, and okra, and water green.
Let's have your party comment, Mr.
Yeah,
wait.
The only thing you can see on the internet, one helmet from Pfizer. I know he's a well Pfizer before.
Let's have your party comment. We've already hit.
Now let me say this to my own uncle. When I say uncle, it means legitimately my uncle, because you know now the surrounding Gizi people and us for respect say and tradition say we say uncle. But actually to admit, Parker was very fortunate to be president of this country. And you saw how he can heal the surrounding president. I know Julia Marabio. I remember question there. The Parker cousin. But still, people they not understood that. And then they will say, "Oh, we agree."
Let's have
and so now to conclude, as a national chairperson of the Citizens United of Liberia, we want to say thank you, Honorable Sam Andrew, and thank you, Liberian people, for following us. We will continue to live. We've been critical from Manasali days of the weird days. That's one of the reasons why the people don't want to give me a ministerial job.
You want something in this government?
No, if I ever want something in a government, I prefer the weird government. If I say I prefer the weird government, it's because if you look at the weird mentality and weird administration, it represents the Liberian people. Man, that man got kind heart. That man is good. My man, if I weird the whole thing, that thing finished long time. For a president to accept a result in the form of man, we are accepted. Man, I said that I can do it. So if I will ever serve my country on any regime, I prefer we have been president. I've been clear with that. Oh, but you don't know, Mama, if we can accept results, what the result even come out, the man call a Buakai to say thank you. I mean, I get what, man. I get what. I said, what? Who the other human being? Where you come from? My man, Samu, you can't give me power, give it all out.
So if you were offered a ministerial job, you need money to exist. You need life. You need everything. Ministerial job, assistant ministerial job, wouldn't you accept it in Boaka government?
Look at Samu. I survived in
this country at the level of almost $4,000.
I survived in this country. Manzarita, 12 years. We are done 6 years. I'm still surviving. I build houses.
You just don't want to work within.
No, not that. Not that. Oh, I don't. How I work in a government who doesn't respect the rule of law? How I work in a government who kill our people in cold blood whenever they go protest? How I work in a government where the other men who call himself police director or run a place misbehaving and killing people? Oh yeah, the man misbehaving. Oh, but you don't know the man misbehaving. The man when Kinjo, the man misbehaving. The man they kill people in Kinjo. They get a man. They get a money to go bury their people.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Is that a
thank you. We're already out of time. I look forward to talking with you again as time goes by. Thank you so much. I appreciate the acceptance of the invite. Thank you so much. He is the head of the Citizens Movement for Better Liberia, Kesali Baza, my guest. Thank you ever so much. That's all the time we've got for the show today. We're back tomorrow. Same time, 3 o'clock. We're not too sure for the news at 6 because we're experiencing some technical problem. However, CDC hour is on at 6:50 up to 7:50. At 8 o'clock, face the issues with Teacher Light. Anthony at Law, A.B. Ware. You don't want to miss it. Another fascinating edition coming up. And then on tomorrow morning, Israel Boy We Are Here is back with Talk About It. Thank you so much, every one of you who spice up the show. I'm Sam Andrews. If God permits, we're back tomorrow.